right, welcome back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back. We are back. Dom, how are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm okay. It's definitely an interesting day, just to say the least. And I will say the funniest thing, actually, my past week has been crazy. And I just remember that we're in the shadows of retrograde. For all my people that are into the retrograde, astrology, all of that retrograde. Last week, one of those kids clawed me in my face. And what's crazy about that situation is this kid is like Gizmo, right? I'm thinking he's the sweetest kid. And literally an hour before the incident happens, one of the other women in the classroom was like, "Oh no," because I said something like, "Oh, this kid might go to my," and she said, "Oh no, he had us fooled for the first 6 months of school. Those last few months, he was a nightmare. He was a menace. The OT therapist, like, she won't be alone with him because he scratched her in her face. He scratched the teacher in her face." So I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, so you have to be careful with him. He'll get worked up. You can't say certain things to him, certain words. It like freaks him out, and then he'll react. He gets aggressive." So literally the next hour it happens. He goes from Gizmo to a gremlin. And in the midst of him having like an episode, I get caught in the crossfire, and he just grabs. I'm like, first of all, like, so his finger like goes like into my eye, like, so he grabs me and it's like this, and like just goes down. And I'm like, why are you grabbing people in their face? Like, you're a cute kid. What if somebody did that to your beautiful face? So, like, yeah, I had to file like an incident report and everything. So now I just be looking at him crazy. Um, but also it doesn't help that the teacher does not report the stuff that happens in the classroom. So they can't get a gauge. She doesn't report it to the parents. And the incident report, it goes to the parents, it goes in their permanent record, and then each person gets a copy. So it's like you're not helping the child by not reporting information. So to me it's lazy. And I also had to check her already. I got it, like, I
Already?
checked. Oh yeah, yeah, I checked her and then reported her ass, because a lot this wouldn't have happened had you shared all this information the first day when I got there. Like, you should have looked at every, and this is a kid they had in their classroom last year. I'm in a completely different class. Like, my teacher didn't do summer school, so I'm not with her. And so when you don't share information with people, you put me in danger. So I'm not playing.
Like it is.
But
It's not working.
today this one kid, and we keep telling him to move. And luckily, when I had lunch with my coworkers last week, she was like, "Oh, you got so and so and so and so and so and so." So, "Oh, I had them, so let me tell you about them." Thank God, because the teacher wasn't gonna do it. So I learned that this kid gets aggressive. You have to watch him because he will climb. That he doesn't listen, and he's really hard to redirect, and he should have a one-on-one. Baby, today that boy, he got his head sat on by the biggest kid in the classroom. You would think this kid was like in the fourth or fifth grade. Uh, that sat on his head, trying to go down the slide. But we told him to move. We was like, "You have to move like that. You're in the walkway," and he didn't. And the dude sat on his head. He didn't put all his pressure on there, but we had to take him to the nurse because he had a huge bruise. So that was the highlight of my day.
Dang, see, that's that being with them kids, boy.
It's a lot, and I hope I pray to God that it is over sooner rather than later. I've gotten my lesson, and I've learned a lot of patience. Like, it's a kid in the class, he be beating his chest like Donkey Kong, and
What?
he's super aggressive, and you don't give him his way, he want to hit you. And baby, he tried to hit me today, and I was like, "Try me, I'm gonna get you back." And he didn't hit me. He didn't hit me. So yeah, every day is a new day. So yeah.
Yeah, no, everything's been straight. I mean, it's been. I mean, it's hot as hell. Here. It's hot and muggy. Father's Day was
Yeah.
straight.
Oh my God. Happy belated Father's Day.
Yeah. It was all good. It was all good. Now this is something, man. Y'all gotta all. We got all in the trust tree on this show, right? I mean, ain't nobody listening to our podcast. Uh, Hey man, I think my daughter got her letter she wrote for me on Chat GPT.
You did what? Wait,
I
what?
think she did. I think she wrote it off of something she found online.
She wrote her what? Wait,
Okay, so it's her letter. She wrote me a letter thing for Father's Day. I think she got it offline and copied it.
Daryl, why?
Do you want me to read you some of it?
Yes.
You tell me. And I'm not saying my daughter ain't super intelligent. She is, but some of this is constructed very, very well, like someone like an AP course, like an AP writing course.
Okay.
All right. Let me turn on this other light here because it's kind of faded a little bit. Dear Dad, I deeply appreciate and love you as a dad. Thank you for always guiding and loving. And I don't know, I can't see that one because she can't write as much.
You need glasses, D? Look at you getting old.
No. This ain't me. Her writing it's real faint. It's like faint pencil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For
all she's too old to write in pencil, by the way.
Yeah, so she started in pen though. It was pink pen at first, and I want to start running out. Then she decided, like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to something else. So it goes. Anyone? Okay, so it says no. It says you have helped me out all these years, and you are the best, no doubt, the best dad anyone could ever ask for. The lessons you've taught and the memories you've helped me come up with. And this is where
upward.
Yes. It says you've taught me you have taught me so many lessons, and you've helped me along the way, and to treasure myself. Your influence shaping me forever. Gratefully. Thank you for everything. You are the best dad ever. Words cannot describe how y'all feel for you. Until the end, you are the best dad ever. P.S. You have inspired me so deeply, Xander. I'm not saying she did all this on Chat GPT. I'm just saying that it was a lot of you see what I'm saying? Like
what 12-year-old is saying upward? Deeply.
No, she might have constructed it. May be like you could tell it's Frankenstein. That's how I'm saying you could tell it's not flowing together. It's like Frankenstein together of like some shit she probably saw online. It was kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna write that for my daddy. I'm gonna copy that part and then find another part because it was like it's gonna end and then she just adds another paragraph where it felt like it was gonna end.
But it's cute. At least
no, it's just funny though because I asked, I was like, "Did you get this offline?" I didn't do that. I was like, "Oh,
yeah, she did with that reaction."
Yep.
That is hilarious. Oh,
but I love it though because he was actually resourceful. I ain't even mad at you. You probably forgot it was coming up on Father's Day. I had to come up with something.
My gosh, that's hilarious.
I ain't even mad at you, shorty. All right, we got a special guest in the building, Dom. Let's introduce him. Talk about we've been talking about this show for a while that you have started. Go ahead. We can go and introduce him. Go ahead, introduce him before I pull him up.
Oh my God, y'all! It is time. It is time to bring y'all Stone Cold Freaks. My co-host, my friend, my brother from another mother, Darren Dorch is in the building with us. He is here to talk shit about our new podcast, some of the topics, and some of our favorite moments on the show. Everybody, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Darren Dirty D Dorch.
Hey, thanks for having me, everybody. Welcome, people. Welcome.
And another St. Louis resident as well. You can't spell the hustle without STL.
Yeah. No, Daryl. What high school did you go to?
I went to the St. Louis University High School.
Oh, damn. Okay. So yeah. So South Side, huh? You South Side too?
Yep.
Yeah, same here. Yep. Born
West Side till I die.
Well, no, I'm on the South Side now. I grew up in the Ville on the North Side.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as long as you didn't say East St. Louis, we good. No, I'm kidding. Let me stop. Shout out to all
my East St. Louis people. They hold it down.
Yeah.
But no, talk about like break it down. What is this? I mean, you've been teasing on our show for like a month and a half, 2 months. Longer than that,
you know.
Yeah.
our show is about releasing shame, from kink, sex, everything that you could even think of. We really go in and we explore the spectrum of sex, sexuality, and it's just been so much fun, a joy, a pleasure to explore this realm. This is new to me, not to Darren, who is the Stone Cold Freak. I am just the
You're along for the ride.
I am along for the ride. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that's the best way to describe it. I was telling him I'm like the yin to your yang. Like, we balance each other out, and he knows all the stuff and he does all the things. And I'll just be like, great. All right. And so we're gonna
curious, though.
absolutely.
I should try that.
But also, and it's insightful, it's enlightening. And it's just, especially talking to Black people in the space, right?
Of course, yeah.
Because when we think about the world of kink, BDSM, all of that, people really don't put us in that space per se.
I completely agree.
And so being able to talk to people, especially, our very first episode, having a dominatrix on that first episode, opening it up, is just like, the raw conversations that we have with people, even when we interview Mason, that was the first time I ever heard a polycule. I was like, like a molecule, but then it's a poly, but then it's like, because it's more. Okay, so break that. So it is really dope. Just going in and exploring, like even having your therapist on, talking about, hey, I really don't believe that opposites attract. And then like breaking down his science and logic behind that. And it's just like, wow, I never looked at it through that lens, because that's what we were taught and what we were conditioned. So we're unlearning a lot of things. We're learning new things.
We are almost the way that I look at our show, we are like resetting people's views on certain things. We are really we're almost like a therapist, really, because a person normally doesn't have a real space where they can talk about their kinks and their shame or their identities. And the reality, when I first started doing research for the book, I obviously learned, look, everybody has a kink. Some are mild, everybody has some shame in them, like a little bit. And oftentimes this is things that we really like mash down and don't really discuss that. And
I don't know, Darren, some people ain't got no shame. Some people ain't got no shame.
A lot of people don't, but then a lot of people do.
Well, so I will say this, in the book that I've been writing and developing for some years now, that I feel like, since I interviewed people for that on the like anonymous side, there are people in the book that are a lot more shameless. So because they're anonymous, they cool. It's cool because they're anonymous. Now, with that said, there are certain things that folks disclose that my team made me edit out of it, but it's just, no, we are sexual beings and everybody has like levels. And yes, there are those folks that are so shameless that they go over the line some. And it's like, ooh, if you tell me any more, I might have to call the cops on you, because even that's too far for me. So yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
And I would say that also in talking to people, understanding the sexuality, all of that, the spectrum, and like, I wish it was a way that we could implement like the BDSM quiz into the show, because there's seriously, because then people, when you get behind the screen and you could be really raw and honest and you're just sharing the results with us. I wish it was a way that it would like populate and come to us and say like, oh, this guest then we can kind of divulge and dive. We'll figure that out for season 2 for sure.
I think for season 2 we absolutely do that.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, let's talk about sex. Let's not make it taboo. We have to have conversations about sex because we understand what consent is, where your limit is, where you have a safe word, things like that. And I think it's just like something that a lot of people are exploring on their own, but they just don't know how to have the conversation about what pleasure, what pleasures them,
Yeah. And I do think specifically in this space with people that look like us, this lane of kink and all that is very niche for us.
Yeah.
The Black community is very much rooted in the church. Like I came up in church and whatnot, and not one time in Sunday school did we discuss, is engaging in water sports a sin? Like you don't really have discussion.
Okay, you know what? Now look.
What?
Hold on. Who said what?
No. See, because you missed it. Because you missed it, Daryl.
What?
Because he said not once did we talk about if this is a sin, engaging in water sports in church. Why would you?
I gotta check this. Let me see.
You know what I mean? But it's having, if people are gonna have sex, right?
Right. Well,
and what the church should be, speaking about, because let's be honest, we spoke about this on an episode, like how church is through the male lens, right? And so it's rooted in patriarchal views, which is how you have like books of the Bible missing once King James got a hold of it, right? And then you also are using it to kind of control women, their bodies. Men are obsessed with virginalism, all of this stuff, purity. And so instead of having conversations about safe sex, how you can protect yourself, we're just like, just don't do it. But then you have people that are inquisitive, which is how you have teen pregnancies, people having STIs and all this stuff at a very young age. But it's like simply because we won't have the conversation. And Black people,
I came up in a church where it was teenage girls getting pregnant, and it gets ignored in Sunday school and all that. And it's like, I don't think just saying you shouldn't have sex before marriage that is realistic anymore. And I am somebody that's still a believer in Christ, and I go to church and read, but it's 2026. People are doing what they're gonna do. And so and to also go off of your point though, there is this fantasy specifically with women. Oh, don't have sex before marriage, save yourself for your husband and marry him and give him kids, and all that is fine, but what about the women that are in?
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the Game never leaves G-Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.
The sex is whack. Like their husbands don't know how to make them come. That's a problem.
They not experienced enough to even know how to eat for themselves.
All of that. Yeah.
Not even, maybe not his fault. The fact that you're not even experienced enough to even know like what is the thing that gets you off.
That's true.
No. Now I'm not saying everybody go out and do what I have done. I mean, what I did this past weekend, nobody should probably be doing, but I digress. we are in, you know,
It was legal, right? It was legal.
It
right?
was. I think
Good question.
at
Good
the
question, Bill.
very top of my book. Every sex act I've ever done has always been legal, consensual, and it will always be
Now,
that.
this is gonna sound weird. I don't have to queue up one of our segments on you, but
No.
you know, have you ever been to a Diddy event?
I have not. No, I don't do that. No, I don't get off.
I was gonna queue up our surviving Diddy section.
My goodness.
No. I mean, that to me, all of that is about pop. That's not even really about sex. That's people knowing that if I can make you do some really awful shit, you will sign this whack ass deal, and then I can take advantage of you for the next 30 years. I mean, can we talk? That's what really, like, if I can film you doing this shit against your will and humiliate you, I know that I own you because you will never want these tapes to get out. That's what all that shit is about, in my opinion. What I do is for fun, releasing stress, and people are themselves in the kink world. But everything isn't for everybody. Water sports, BDSM, that's not for everybody. I mean, I have a jump off now that she has and Dominique, I don't think I've told you this yet, but I have a jump off now who has a major fetish for the piss. So when she wakes up every morning, she either wants to be pissed on or she wants to drink piss. That's not for everybody. But I'm in the kink world, and if it's clean, if it's consensual, I'm not mad at it. Well, let's go. Now, don't destroy my sheets and my mattress, but you know, so
I would think by now that you would have
I got it. It is Amazon. They're on Amazon. I got to get some rubber sheets and all that other.
Oh, no, if it's on Amazon, I'll link it in the show notes. I'll link. I'll have everything linked in. I got questions.
Questions. Please. Yeah. Of course.
I'm finna. I look like I'm finna throw out the rest of our playbook because I got questions here.
Of course. Yeah. No. Always. Yeah. So yeah.
So, is it her own? Like, so she likes it on her, or that she just likes to go? Like I love to go to the bathroom early in the morning, but I don't need nobody in there with me.
Good point.
But she wants it on her.
On her, in her. I get pissed on sometimes. It's just what we feel like doing that day. Yeah.
Okay. Have you been to
hedonism? So you want to know what's funny?
Hedonism? Have you been to hedonism?
I have not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's on his list. For sure.
Like somebody want to go.
No, it's not on my list. I don't listen because here's the thing.
I had a lady I was dating she was trying to get me to go. This is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, hedonism ain't for me because the guys that I would find attractive are not there.
That's not true. She said.
You know what I mean? Like, no. Because no, it would be this. It's like, oh, Darren and I, like Darren and I have talked about this, and I'm like, you know, the people, like, I always get approached to be in a throuple or something like that, and it's just like neither one of y'all are my type, and I don't even. And as far as like women go, like it would be, and I don't even dabble with women, but you got to be attractive in some way for me to I'm about to like have a good time tonight. I'm about to just, you know, because I'm a person that's like, you know,
no, I just know you dumb. So, I don't even like women, but you got to at least be attractive.
But you know what I mean? Like you got to be able.
I know I get you. It's
I'm
just
like,
funny the way you said
girl.
it. Like...
or that's a nice young lady. A nice young lady. I'm not interested in. Like if you like kind of like a Rihanna or
right.
I'm or something like kind of like hot like that. Like it gotta be right for me to turn up. But I'm like,
if back in the day, Chris and Rihanna were like, D, we gotta do a threesome. You would have done that threesome. Like
Probably I would be
Yeah.
open to it. I think they're both
Yeah.
very attractive people. You know,
Right.
like I think
Right.
Chris is cute. But
You might get your ass beat, but you might.
no, okay, okay,
Oh,
no.
I'm not making fun of
I
domestic
mean,
violence.
our favorite
I'm
thing
not.
is alleged,
Yeah,
but
right.
we
Alleged.
because we
Oh,
that
no,
he
no,
does
no, I do
say
have a question though
Alleged.
within the kink worlds and different things like that.
Right.
And this is even this is in general. So like, as I know, there's got to be a pre-internet like hookup within those communities,
Oh yeah.
and a post-internet
yeah.
You're right.
like where like we didn't have cell phones when we was growing up as kids, so there was a pre-world where you had to have a black book and be like,
Oh yeah.
hey, is
Yeah.
Lorena there?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Lorena.
So previously, before that, how would people make these communities,
Right.
or even know, like, how would you even know that like you're into this pre-internet, like without like getting yourself jammed up potentially? I'm just saying not jammed up, but like exposing, like, hold on, I'm not into that, because I feel like people more open now. There's more communities based around it where someone would know
Right.
what
Right.
they're
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
If that makes sense with my question.
Yeah. I can answer both. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. My first experiences in kink group sex happened in high school, college, and how those happened. That was always about word of mouth, and it was always more spontaneous. So, and I won't say the other places, but it was certain, let's say, work places that I may or may not have worked at. I won't say which cities or nothing like
Yeah.
that, but it was certain places I may have worked at or certain schools I attended, and people would talk. And sometimes, and this is why I say, if you're out with the right people on a certain night hanging out and the vibe is good, most people would be down for some kinky shit. If the drinks are flowing, if folks are getting high, if everybody is just in a good mood, whatever, it sometimes it's going down. That's how I had my very first threesome, and this was before like internet. Internet was around, but no, it was just, this was like the early 2000s, and I was in like high school still. So we weren't on in chat rooms looking for, like, it's word
And
of mouth.
people
So
and people
yeah,
used to also solicit it in the paper, like
this
depending on
is
what's
true.
happening.
This
And
is
then
very true.
like you said, to go back to that word of mouth thing, like people would advertise
Yeah.
certain things, have like business cards. Like I remember seeing a post where somebody was cleaning out, like their grandmother had passed away, and they were cleaning out the house, and they went through one of her drawers, and it was like a mini like pamphlet business card type deal where it was a guy selling sex. Like it was like, oh, for this dollar amount, you can get your box A. I can massage you. I could do this, and for this, you can get multiple for this dollar amount for this amount of time. So people were out here. It was ways to do it. I mean, think about even back in the day, like they would have brothels and all of this stuff. Like you would just know where to go.
Yeah.
Bathhouses for the so people would
Yeah.
know.
Now,
I think it's just,
yeah. I will say this: the great thing about now is that it's much safer now. There's more vetting. There's more communication.
But do you
And
feel there's more posers though too, Darren, where like,
oh yeah,
where like,
yeah.
where like they kind of want to, this is like, it's with any community, like when like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was collecting comic books and stuff, it wasn't as many people talking about they was part of nerd culture. We was
Right.
hiding up our comic books and other books and stuff like that. Now it's more accepted, so now you have these. I feel sometimes.
yeah, blurred culture is huge. Like you have conventions.
But is it the same way on that side of kink, where there's people kind of posing where they kind of want to just dip their toe in it a little bit, but like,
yeah, so that is something, and I'm seeing this more and more. And as I have been saying, we are in this newfound, with all these apps now, we're in a sexual revolution now.
Absolutely.
And what it is now is that since there's so much out there, it's so many apps, we see it on social media and movies, TV. Now it's almost like, so I say now, kink and sex is like a Baskin and Robbins now. There's so many flavors, it's so much. So now that folks like me are being more open about it, I'm seeing more and more people wanting to like explore, which is great. So folks are being a little bit more open-minded, and I do think, especially in America, sex has been very seen as very taboo and all that, even though porn is huge. My only thing with so many people wanting to experiment is that that's a lot of the people that approach me about doing group stuff, kink stuff, and it gets a little exhausting because oftentimes, like experts like me, and I will call myself an expert.
Look, you're an expert to me.
Yeah, you are.
No, I've been in this line of work for 25 years now, so to speak.
That's an expert.
No. So, but it gets a little exhausting when everybody wants you to be their guinea pig, though. So I really pick and choose about.
That's what I'm asking about. That's what I'm asking about. When someone's not even
but you know what?
Want to be like, it's just like I just wanted to get off my bucket list. Not like you. I'm not saying you have to be part of the community.
I'm really
Darren, not to cut you off. Like Darren had an experience where that recently happened to him. It was a girl. It was like a group conversation happening, and she was talking a lot of mess. And then when it came down to get down and dirty, she was like. And I would say this, it seems like she was more into worshiping because like she wanted it to be all about her where it wasn't about everybody. And then a lot of the stuff she was talking, she wasn't backing it up. But it seemed like based on now I'm looking at it now, removed several months, I was like, oh, she might have just really wanted to be worshiped, but didn't know how to say that. And so like those things happen. I think everybody kind of experienced that, especially and just when we talk about sex and just in general, and then you get down to it and it's like I could have had a V8.
No, seriously.
Like that it happens and it happens more often than you think. And I know sometimes that first sexual encounter is can be a little underwhelming, and so it's for what it's worth. Sometimes it's worth going back a second time just to confirm, because now you're warned with somebody. You could, you have nerves sometimes, so and now the second time, which I talk about an experience on the show where I remember referencing like this guy that I had gave the Joan Clayton 3-month rule because I really liked him. And wanted to take my time and not jump into something. And baby, I got fucked like a blow up doll. Like he was jackhammering me. Like it just was crazy. And I was like, no. And
what movie was that I'm thinking about? What movie is that? Waiting to Exhale? What movie was that?
Waiting to Exhale. It's Sex and the City. Like it's
It happens like it is a normal experience for women. And sometimes women, I will say, we sometimes find it hard to be vocal about our pleasure and how we want to be pleasured because it's just a tough space sometimes. And so about this situation, I remember even leading up to this, my boss and I, like at my job at the time, we were talking about awkward first sexual encounters. Like it was a more relaxed environment. I wasn't in this office. I didn't, it wasn't anything out of pocket, but it was just funny. And then that happened to me that night. And I went to work the next day and I was like, oh my God, I hope Mark works so I can tell him what the hell just happened to me. And I was like, and so he worked. I said, yo, I almost text you in the middle of the night and said, I don't know what just happened to me, but how did I jinx myself? And then, you know, it was like, well, you kind of got to do it again to make sure. And baby, I did it again and stopped mid romp section and was just like, this isn't for me. Like, I don't know who or what you was for. I think we're gonna have to be friends.
Yeah, I mean, I got
Darren, I got so many questions, man. Look,
yeah, please, of course.
I just start typing other questions down here. We may only get to 1 or 2 other topics, brother. Because I got 6 already. That's why you've been talking. So is there issues? So I remember a long time, I don't know if you remember down, I wrote, I had it's the Madonna. I wrote how cats have this Madonna-Whore complex when it comes to women. Is that a good thing or a bad thing that men kind of separate? Some men, I'm not going to talk about, some men separate out their sexual experiences of how they will, what kind of sex they'll have with different types of women.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Is that unfair to a woman, or is that really just, you know what I mean? Or is that
no. I hear. So I'll say this: everybody has their kinks as well as their I guess preferences and the type of women and men they want to be with. I will only speak for me, though. I think for me, having it's a Madonna-Whore.
It's a Madonna-Whore complex.
Yeah. So with that, for me, I just feel like it puts women in a box. And I've also learned in my experiences, women will always never assume anything about any woman. A woman, especially when it comes to sex, kink, whatever, she can always surprise you. So I'm not a fan of that at all. But I feel like, again, for me, I feel like that other Madonna-Whore virgin shit is rooted in shame. Like, I want to do all the nasty shit with the hookers and all that, and then
but what? Okay, let's say the lady doesn't want to do that, or they don't look at her like that. Is it wrong if he does it over here?
I mean, so I will just say this. He can feel that way and do things and keep things separate all he wants. But how does he know that this virgin, this nice woman he has at home?
Well, no, let's say she's already said that. You're gonna have to do that over there, though. I don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I do think sometimes some things just isn't for certain folks. So if your partner is like, you got to do that elsewhere, I respect that. I think that's very mature. And I interviewed a buddy for my book, and he was saying you can't expect one other person to like satisfy all of your sexual needs your entire life. I kind of agree with that. Some things are just not for people. So if a man's woman, his wife, his lady is saying, I'm not doing that. I don't like ass sex, or I don't like swallowing cum, I don't like whatever, go elsewhere and get that, I think that's fine, you know.
But I think also what we need to also talk about is that when we talk about the lack of satisfaction, right? When we talk about knowing people's especially when it comes to women, because especially, or more so particular women, like Black women, right? I don't identify as a woman of color. I'm Black. When I've been in chat, we're like, okay, so you remember Clubhouse during COVID, right?
Oh yeah.
So this comes up in conversation, exploring.
You know, I refuse to get on there.
Oh my God. Anyway, it was a lot of different conversations that were happening, during that time, and hearing how there were certain things that, like, Black men in particular would not do with Black women. Like you said, simply because it's like, oh, I can't slut out a Black woman, but I can go do that over there. But it's like, this person is telling you, I want to explore this, but because for whatever psychotic reason you have in your mind, you can't experience that. You save that for white women or Latina women or whatever, which is like, okay, you care about this person. So you're sharing an experience with some person, like the person that you love. What is the harm in doing that? Like, why does this make you potentially
Yeah.
look at her
So
differently?
yeah,
And so but it comes to a thing of also, where did you get this from? It still goes back to that virginal idea, right? So now we're breaking down the Madonna-Whore complex, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, when we talk about relationships, sex, wanting to be exploratory, it's okay to explore, but when you're with if you have a Black partner, that's where
Right.
you draw the line, and we're having basic vanilla sex.
Right. I mean,
And which is, which leads people to sometimes like cheat.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes people don't even want to have the conversation, and it's like, but you have this thing, and I'm open and want to explore it with you.
Yeah. Listen, people hate when I say this, but I say this over and over. I've been saying it for years. What they won't do, someone else will.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, but I also, to go off of that, D, what you're also getting at, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do it with my partner and this and that. Again, that's rooted in shame. Some folks feel like if they do that nasty, filthy shit in their home, they have, oh man, I did that here. Like, I'm not going to feel right coming in this room knowing that we did that. I mean, that excites me.
Yeah.
Like, I like that.
We know.
Done all this over at my, but no, it's really, this is a tricky subject matter, specifically for folks who look like us, Black people, because we come from slave days where folks were abused and raped, and all, so I get it. I get it. For me though, you got to work that shit out with your therapist, your counselor, but people like kinky shit. And also sex can get very monotonous sometimes too. People want to switch it up. That's human nature. And as we get older, people's tastes, they sort of change. I mean, even me, like, even though I like all this wild shit, as I'm getting older, I'm also realizing, oh, I like the nice sensual stuff as well, mixed in with all like the wild shit. So I
don't know how I mean, not to judge you.
What?
But judging you again. I'm like, because after a while, you just can't be pissing on people and peeing in their mouth.
Why not?
This is, you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm such a hypochondriac and so obsessed with, like, on top of that, like OCD about cleanliness, and so I'm thinking about the ammonia aspect of things.
This motherfucker said that.
Listen, I mean,
I'm saying, like, I'm sorry, like, that's where my mind goes. I'm like, damn, like how long, like, is she gonna have to be on dialysis? Because, like, there's ammonia in her system at some point, and so your kidneys, have to function at a high, like, percentage in order to process stuff. And then so see, this is what I'm saying.
Look,
that's why I don't do.
We take the precautions. There's annual physicals, STI testing, diet, drinking water, doing it in the shower so that you don't but there are those times where
it doesn't matter how much you exteriorly clean. Ammonia is in your pee.
Oh, I know. I am well aware of. Now, I don't drink pee. That's not for me, but on me is fine. But no, a lot of people that are into these very specific kinks, they've done their research. This is one thing that I love about the kink community is that people do their fucking homework. Like, they really, but I just, getting back to what you were saying, it's a real tricky thing because a lot of men, they want to come home to like a clean house and food and the nice wife and all that, and she's pure. I mean, I understand it. I also think that's
she's knocking boots with the milkman.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I tell folks, I've seen a lot of divorces, a lot of cheating, and all that. And if you can't meet your partner in the middle on something, it's always going to be an issue, and that is
absolutely. I agree.
I say, like, men, what you won't do, another man will for your woman, and it's vice versa.
Who's
That's
making love
so
to your old lady?
Relationships. That's why open relationships and marriages are massive, like massively huge, because people, they like, okay, I need that other spice outside, and it's not just even with sex, even, but just to feel a certain different kind of emotion outside of their relationship. Now, again, in our community with Black folks, the open thing, yeah, it's catching more traction. But again, even with my own family, I can barely discuss with them that I've been in open relationships with women since late college, like on and off. Like, that's my thing, because life is busy. We like different things. Sometimes I like multi-dating, whatever. But saying that in a Black family that is rooted in the church, that is seen as very taboo.
And even in my case, like, kind of talking about like my experience dating, that multiple people at once. I remember the reaction I got from like my godbrother, where it was like, what are you doing? Like, that's just ridiculous, like not understanding. And I would think that his whole teppy ass would get it more than anybody, to be quite honest. But like the judgment that came with that, and it was like, I used to feel like that, but once I experienced, so you talked about not like one person cannot fulfill you sexually. To me, it was like about the emotional part of it,
and
more
that's
so than the physical part, where it was like, okay, this person is like this over here. I get this over here, which is something that is very important to me. And then I get this over there, where this fills in that gap, and it works. And I wish it was something that could have worked out long term. But ultimately, things happen and unravel, and it's okay. But I experienced it, and I was like, I get that. I could see how this is a thing for people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So we are, I just think where we are now with communication, technology, apps, I do think a lot of attitudes must change, in my opinion, because they become outdated now. And that's really tough for a lot of people, because it's certain things have been beat in us for decades. But now the world has just fucking changed now. It just has. And I'm not saying folks have to stop their beliefs or anything like that, but I'm also like, you got to be realistic though. But also, we are trained to stay in toxic relationships and all that. It's just stick it out. You don't want to die alone, just stick it out. I mean, I think relationships out of marriages are work. They're never, ever easy. But when you hit a wall with somebody, sometimes you have to, color outside those lines. And sometimes it might be an open relationship, or it might be, I need another jump off on the side that we agree on. I don't know what it is.
Doja, they sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to, everybody coming to watch, though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey, man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Everybody's different, but it's just So
those are the topics that we explore.
So hold on, I got before we go to our hot topics real quick. Where can they subscribe and get all this discussion and talk here?
You can subscribe on YouTube as Stone Cold Freaks. Instagram is the same thing. On TikTok, it is at the moment currently is Stone Cold Freaks Po, P-O, because podcast is one too. You know, and then we'll also be available on audio. Facebook audio as well. The audio, you know, with audio, it won't create the space until the actual audio drops, which will be July 6th. And so in the meantime,
they can go subscribe though to all the different spots.
They can subscribe to all the other stuff. And then also on we'll be teasing stuff. We'll have extended clips and everything that you guys can see as well on our YouTube, on our Instagram and everything. But definitely subscribe. It is a really great time. We have so many great guests on the show, and I mean, we come in swinging.
Wait, I'm gonna be in LA the end of July. I'm coming on, man. I'm
please, you want
to coming on?
I would love that.
Look, I'm gonna divulge some things I haven't divulged yet about in general. I'm coming on. Darren, you have convinced me. I told Dom I would never show up on your show.
That's funny. No, we don't listen. We don't. So I'll say this: we're interviewing folks from all walks of life, doctors, therapists, normal people, just sex workers, but we never humiliate or scare.
Oh yeah, Dom just knows I'm just low key.
Yeah, but we gonna get in your business though. I mean, that's just what it is, because we're not really. One thing that is great about us on our show, we are not shy, and like we will have those.
Oh no, I've seen some behind the scenes stuff. Dom showed me some stuff, so I know.
Yeah. It's good. It's so good, and I'm really proud of it. It's been, you know, Darren approached me about 7-8 years ago. To do this podcast. I was walking into work. And what was crazy about it then is like it was just an idea. He hadn't even started putting pen to paper for his books. And so I was ready to go then. I was like, oh, we can get this set up next week and just start recording, you know. But I understand like things take time. So bringing it all together, we started filming, you know, like almost a year ago. Like it'll be a year ago in August when we started recording these interviews and taking our time and gathering everything. And we were gonna launch, and you know, unfortunately, Darren's mom passed away, and then all these other things happened. And you know, now is the time. It's summer. People are outside. Y'all need something to listen to and to watch. And so I'm really excited about it. And you know, to be doing it with my, you know, one of my really good friends, you know how we work together, Daryl and Darren, like it's cohesive. We have our moments, but it's just like, I need, you know, I like work with me, and so now, you know, Darren gets to see how I work. And so I'm like, no, walk with me on this, and you'll understand later. But trust me.
I mean, what's interesting about our journey on working on this show is that I think we complement each other well. We've also worked in two different worlds, and I think that helps as we are building this thing up. And I also think it's a really good look to see Black folks working like this with each other. Like now, the media landscape is a shit show. Podcasting, movies, TV, Broadway, books, it's all really, really hard getting anything done now. And I think any opportunity where we can all come with each other and get things done the right way, I think it helps everyone in the long run. Because I do, you know, not getting off on a tangent, but I do think there is this attitude now that, well, let's sort of minimize the spaces that Black folks are in the media landscape. Let's keep them over there with the Tyler Perry BET stuff, and let's keep the podcast space with you know, mostly the Joe Rogans and the Alex Cooper. No. We deserve to have our voices heard in this space on a mainstream level as well. Because I do think we, on our show, we talk about a lot of things that are relatable. And that's why we are able to book Black guests from St. Louis, as well as therapists and sex workers from LA that are white and Asian. And so I really do think, you know, in this media landscape right now, where they're trying to, where sometimes certain folks are trying to contract our voices, that's where we all need to team up and work with each other so that we can get to the other side of this, you know. So yeah.
So we're gonna jump into a couple, 3 quick topics.
Yeah, please.
Here we this is the story of Katrina Mason, formerly known as Chris Mason, and how a PPP loan paid for a lot of operations.
This is a good one. This is Katrina Mason, formerly Christopher Mason. Yes, from Downey, California. The father of 6 has been sentenced to 9 years in federal prison for stealing $2 million in a PPP fraud scheme. And she used the money for gender transition surgery. Did I say that right? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. She went from a man to a woman. She paid for the surgery. She used all that stolen money. Not only did she pay for herself, she paid for 2 friends' gender surgery. Yeah, she was like the gender surgery Santa Claus. And what's messed up is she had 6 kids, 2 baby mamas. She owes $70,000 in back child support. She didn't even give them money. Like, you stole $2 million. You could have gave them $70,000 to take care of your back. That's how selfish Katrina, formerly Christopher Mason, was. And now she's going to an all-male prison, which I don't know, that may be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure how that works. I'm sure some dudes in that prison can't wait to get their hands on her. But her eyebrows is banging. I ain't even gonna lie. Her eyebrows is incredible. Yeah. Katrina Mason from Downey, California, father of 6, formerly Christopher Mason. That's nasty work.
He said her eyebrows don't point.
The eyebrows are on like
They're
the
not
eyebrows.
eyebrows, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say this is a beautiful transition. Let's say that.
Oh no. I'm not even gonna hold you. When I first saw it, I thought it was just a regular woman.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Also, he's correct. You could have gave them kids that $70,000 and you didn't do what you need to do. So now we gotta really talk shit about you because we talk about
6 kids and 6 kids.
Yeah, like
6 kids, $70K. Like that would have been like a little, like what, like 11, a little bit over. You could have gave them kids that money and then kept it moving because you still gonna have to pay it back. And the fact that you gotta pay it back, you could have let your kids eat.
I just want to say this. I've always been an ally to the trans community. Shout out to all of them, but I'm so sick of people scamming and scheming and not trying to work hard and always trying to take the shortcuts now. And just seeing that ratchet ass story, it's actually kind of sad. I'm just like, you couldn't at least pay your child support? Like, damn. Like
you scammed 2.2 mil.
Right, like 70,000 is a drop.
And you paid for your friends over taking care of your.
Yeah.
But see, this is the nigga shit we talk about because at the end of the day, they got to end, and you still a niggas is gonna need.
And I'm confused, and I know that sexuality is on the spectrum, but I'm just like, you got 6 joints though.
Yeah.
And I know, and then you paying for other people. This is a lot going on here.
It's tacky. It's so tacky and unfortunate.
Very tacky.
And so, I mean, the joke does write itself. It's like, okay, they putting you on the side with the men because of this administration. You know, they changed a lot of that stuff. But also, 9 years is a long time.
No.
Because
she deserves this though. She deserves
mainly because you didn't look out for your fucking kids. I would say, and that's what you get. That's why you get the 9 years. But also, I think of some of the stuff devil's advocate, when we see the whites do it, they be like, they in jail for like a year or two.
Oh yeah, no, we always get the more harsh.
Yeah, we always get, but
Yeah,
but yes, this is what happens when you don't take care of your kids.
Yeah.
And you prioritize your homeboys, your
Yeah.
homegirls now, because they
I
transition
mean,
homegirls.
I just want to say this. I have little respect for our justice system because it's so racist and all that. So that's why I always get out of jury duty. Like I have hardly no respect for it because we always do get the harsh sentences. However, I also will say this though. Black folks, if you want to be committing crimes, just know if you get caught, you're going to get the harsher sentences than white folk. And I know folks want to fight that and all that, but it's like, look,
it's reality.
I can't really defend if you stealing $2 million and you want to get 9 years and they give the white person 3 years. Listen, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm like, you should know the hammer always comes down harder on you. So be very careful, Black folks, when you commit crimes. Like, no, it is what it is.
So this one's not a crime. This one is Oprah. People are getting upset at Oprah. I guess she got on Ozempic, they're trying to say now. And she came out discussing some private information things with Whitney Houston.
We did the whole, hey girl, how you doing, greeting thing. And then I stopped the cameras and I went behind stage and I said, so tell me, what do you want? What do you want to happen here? And I'm going to tell you what I want to happen here. And that was one of the most powerful interviews. And do you all know this is an amazing thing that happened? I had such trust from the Oprah show audience that Whitney did, I think it was her last show with us. And she had gone back on drugs. The first interview I did with her when we'd gone behind stage and I asked her about her intention, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform in front of the audience, she was not. And she fell off of the stage. And I knew that if that story got out that she'd fallen off of the stage, that she would be destroyed by that. And so even though the audience was there and the audience had cameras, I begged them not to put those pictures out because it would ruin her life, and they did not.
And what about...
That would not happen today, I can tell you.
What about...
All right, some people are saying that Oprah shouldn't have even told nobody about this incident, that she's spilling the beans because it's Oprah. And that she's passed away. That's the main thing, is that she has passed away.
What year was it? I would think that when so
let me find out.
Whitney passed away in what was
2012.
2012. Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember, I know it was the day before my birthday.
Yeah.
Because I remember it being Grammy weekend, and I remember it was a party that my homegirl was like, oh my God, I was at this party off of Argyle, and
September 2009 was the episode.
Okay. 2009. So here's my question. At that time, we were not as phone heavy as we are now. So I would think
man. I had the Trail joint, the Blackberry.
No,
Blackberry.
I've been flicking.
As a person,
I
will also tell you why that didn't get out. Because as a person, Darren, I don't know, you've been to studio audience shows, whatever. They are very strict on that. Like, not taking. And even then, like, that's what I'm saying. 2009 to now. It's like it's a different. Even now, you cannot pull your phone or anything out. It is impossible to do that. Like, because it's so many. So my question is, again, Darren, when I asked the why, the relevance of this, it would be almost borderline impossible unless somebody leaked the information to TMZ. Where were you? How was this a thing where people were pulling out phones? And I just have a video or a photo of Whitney Houston stumbling off the stage, like where she fell. That's weird. That like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Oprah is an Aquarius, but we do exaggerate sometimes.
I
So
mean,
but again, my question is the why. What's the reasoning? Like, I know this is just an excerpt. Are you talking about how technology has shifted things? What's the purpose behind telling that story?
I'm gonna say this, and I worked on a show with Oprah. She was very nice, by the way, very, very nice. I think right now there is so much discussion in the culture right now about a lot of our legends that have passed now. Obviously, the Michael movie. There's other, projects coming out on various folks who have passed. I think right now the reason why that story is relevant is because number one, there are certain people in the business, they gonna do and say what they want, period. There's folks like the Oprahs, the Tyler Perrys, the Steven Spielbergs. They have reached a level where if they got some shit they want to share, they're gonna do it. And the general public may not like it, but it won't hurt their careers in the long run. I think so. Are you asking like why Oprah would share that like right now?
Yeah, my question would be, what's the relevance of it now? You know what I mean? This would be something that I would think that you would share maybe a few years like post, but now it's kind of like what's the relevance? So that's why I was saying I'm interested to see what the entire conversation was. Like, is this a
Yeah,
conversation surrounding tech,
yeah,
or this is surrounding people using drugs in the industry? Like,
yeah,
what is the conversation?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so what is your reason for sharing this information? You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I need to watch the whole interview to really answer that because that's just
Yeah, because
yeah.
yeah.
It just I have really, now we are in such a viral moment and everybody wants
Clickbaity.
clicks and
And
likes that it's really hard to have an opinion on just seeing that one clip. So I really want to see, wait, how did they really even get on Whitney in that
right,
interview? So that's
right,
where I stand.
right.
But I know people are throwing a lot of shade at Oprah, talking a lot of shit about her and all this other stuff. I don't, with all of that, I don't have any comment on that. That's a whole deeper discussion. But I think I will say this though. I do feel, especially in where we are with like Trump being in the White House and how bad things are in the country, I do think we are in this space now where people really are craving more like authenticity now. Like I feel like people want to see more of the truth now, and they don't want things like hidden. So I'm curious if I end up watching that whole interview, how they got on Whitney, and maybe Oprah was trying to give some kind of warning about
It felt like that she was trying to like show how good her crowd was and loyal her crowd was. That's what it felt like at the beginning. Like, I'm gonna give an example how like good my crowd was and like how much they fucked with me, basically.
Yeah, no, I will say this. I was in the studio audience sitting in the front row at a very high level taping a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like heavy hitting icons on stage behind the camera. We and I will say this. Nothing out of that taping got out. Like it's a real strict, like you ain't sitting there on IG or secretly because it's like
There's no way.
shit that gets you sued, blackballed. I mean, they might do some criminal like they just it's at a certain level where they just don't play that shit, you know. And I don't even think they took our phones at that taping. Like it's certain
gentleman's
spaces.
kind of thing. It's a gentleman's handshake or a lady's handshake of like this is kind of like a
well, I mean, yeah, but it's almost like it's an attitude in the A-list world of if you even get the invite in this space, you have been vetted, so to speak.
Okay.
But it's also this attitude of fuck around and you will find out. So I would be really anybody who would leak like footage from the like Oprah show of Whitney, like those are two big icons right there.
Yeah.
With huge teams behind them. Do you really want to fuck with them?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was like, you know, I don't know why phones would be even allowed. Like we didn't like everybody in 09 did not have an iPhone. Like you had to, it was like more I would say we're still segueing out of BBM era. Like people have Blackberries, all this stuff. But that's why I was like, what is going on? Like, how was this a thing? But like I said, if it was something
somebody
like
for sure on that BBM guy, hey, I just saw Whitney Houston's falls.
Right, you could tell somebody.
Somebody got that message though.
Right, but I think it's one of those things where people, when we talk about loyalty, but it's also people in the space also having empathy. You know, like damn, like you know, we thought that Whitney was clean, whatever, blah 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 blah, and to see that's somebody also having empathy, because it's like, damn, this is really bad. Like we've heard reports, but to actually see it with my own eyes, like shit.
I mean, and now I will say this, I wish that footage had leaked though, only because when she came out with that album and they're making it seem like she's all cleaned up and whatnot, and then she was still using and obviously passed less than 3 years later after that interview. Again, is something about the entertainment business still that is still very fake still, and people are hiding behind the truth. And in the end, it really does hurt people. Like I remember around that time, like a year earlier, remember the singer Amy Winehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So the previous year, she pretty much swept the Grammys, and Natalie Cole spoke out against that, saying we really shouldn't be celebrating her while she's strung out and this, and she's not really. And Natalie Cole, they dragged her bad.
Yeah, but because Natalie Cole had her issues and everything. They're trying to say like you can't be right. Natalie Cole had her issues, like you can't.
No, right. And Natalie was saying, "No, I'm saying this because
I've been there.
My issues. I caught hepatitis C from being a heroin user. I didn't get all those rewards really until after I fucking cleaned my act up. But right now, she was like, this music business is turning a blind eye, and they're trying to prop up this woman, and she ended up being right. And I kind of feel like that. I understand why they hid that footage of Whitney. I understand that. But I do wonder if maybe that had leaked out, maybe, just maybe, that might have saved her life, maybe. And she really, really got some help instead of trying to shove her out there with a new album and a horrible tour that didn't go well. It's a really, with a lot of our icons that have passed, I really do think the lesson is that all that glitters isn't gold. I mean, Whitney was only fucking 48 years old. Michael, only 50. Prince, what, 56 or something? Like, this is still young. George Michael, what, 54, 55? Like, a lot of our 80s and 90s icons we lost to drugs, like, and stuff. And it's a conversation that I still don't feel like
we talk about enough.
We really talk about. Yeah.
And I mean, we think about, look how many people, like even like in the sense of like a lot of these rappers that we don't know them, but they have some sort of following and fan base and consistently dying of an overdose.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like we don't talk about that enough outside of like the some of the stuff that happens via, you know, violence, but for the most part, a lot of them OD, and you're like, who?
Yeah,
what? But I'm like, but what's going on? Like,
well,
you know, and it's funny. Like,
tell you.
And I was gonna say, hold on, before we before you respond, like it is it was a podcast, and it's these two guys, and like people call in, they say like something crazy, and so this guy was like saying how, like, what made him change his life and get off of drugs was he was taking perks. And he was like, I was listening to Juice WRLD, and I'm like, didn't he overdose?
Yep.
So he was like, he realized that he hadn't been to the bathroom in like a week. And so he was like, yo, what's going on? And so he called 911. So whatever it is, the guy was like, oh, you must be popping perks. And he was like, yeah. And so ultimately he was like, I finally like went to lay down, and I laid on my stomach, and I felt my stomach rumble, and I went to go have a bowel movement finally after a week. And he was saying, what came out of me? He's like, I mean, I ain't gay. I don't know how they do that, but more power to, like, he made it funny, but it was the realization, like, this can kill you.
Yeah.
You know, not going to the bathroom can kill you.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
But we don't talk about, you know, like but even when we talk about like Whitney, you got to talk about how people really didn't look out for her. Davis being one of them. And even in postmortem, you don't look out for her, and you still continue to have a party.
This is my thing. I really, as I navigate my way in this business, one thing that I've done is that I like to tell folks about the good, the bad, and the ugly of entertainment. And this is in every medium. Oftentimes, the majority of these folks, they want you out there making money. Point blank, period. Sometimes they don't give a shit what you're on, what's going on in your personal life. Get out there and make us money, or we don't fuck with you like anymore. Whitney, specifically with her and some of our icons, they saw a level of success that we will never see in this business ever again. Ever. And then being a Black as well, I mean, that's something else, because it's hard for a Black artist to outright just be a pop star for, you know, X amount of years. Yeah. That's really, really hard. But what a lot of the powers that be and a lot of talent don't really discuss, especially when they're at the height of their powers, is the stress that's in like entertainment and the immense pressure, and what leads people to a lot of drugs, sex, whatever, is that everybody needs a vice. Because I was watching an interview with another actor recently, and they were like, yeah, this business will suck you dry, and not in a good way. It's constantly, pulling at you and blah, blah, blah. And so this is something that I do hope that in this new age of podcasting and social media apps, that folks would be more open about the stresses of the entertainment business. And if you don't, take care of your own mental health, it will fuck you over. It really, really will. So the Whitney stuff, and I mean, people have made jokes and this and that, but that's one of the saddest stories of the music business ever.
Yeah.
Even sadder, and I don't like to pair, but even still, I mean, it's like worse than Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and all them that died young, because Whitney was around for so long and she made it young, but a lot of that was hidden, and when it did come out, it was made more so as a joke, really.
Well, I mean, I think at first didn't it feel like it was like, oh, that's a Bobby thing, like Bobby one.
Yeah.
Like first it was like the Bobby is the problem.
Yeah, and
like,
he never was.
Yeah.
And Bobby, and that showed how much he still loved and respected her even post marriage, because he was like, I didn't want to go do all of this tug of war, like he spoke about that recently. Well,
he always
he never denied it. He just was like whatever. But then when you found out that, like, like when her brother came out and was like, actually, it's kind of my fault. I introduced her to drugs. It wasn't Bobby. Like, remember when all of everything really started to come
remember out? Though, me and Dom, you talk all the time. You got Whitney had money for a long time.
He had money for a long time, and that's what people.
Bobby was still because people tour with New Edition, not making no money for real.
Right, and so people, and we talk about we've spoken about this on our show, like Bobby owing some mob dude or whatever some money, they had him held for ransom, and she went and paid the ransom.
Yeah, it was Preacher. It was the dude. So I like to get in my hood stories. So the same, if you've ever seen the movie Paid in Full, the person that kidnapped Mitch's brother, that's the same guy that kidnapped Bobby Brown too.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the same guy. The same as that guy. His name is Preacher. Same as that guy who kidnapped both of them.
So it is like you said, it's really sad how even like that whole story, just like ultimately how they did her. And then when you start really understanding and stories come out, like it's a lot of people that had similar stories, like Phyllis Hyman was talking about, like calling out shit. And unfortunately, like I was like, oh, she had, OD, and it's like, but did she? So it's like
suicide. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say this about her. Phyllis Hyman was one of the greatest talents that the music business really did dirty, and she didn't get the success she really deserved, because she wasn't willing to play the game, and she had certain mental health issues. But that's another really sad. So, like, she was young when she committed suicide.
Well, I think also physically she's a big woman.
Yeah.
Like she was 6'1" or something like that. Like, she's an imposing, size woman. Everybody wants somebody to be petite, just
no. So I do think, and
they used to pit Phyllis versus Whitney too a lot.
No, they did. I mean, And
Clive
that's
Davis,
something that-
particularly, rest in peace, Clive
That's
Davis.
what I was gonna say.
yeah, no, rest in peace. That's something that I always hate when, you know, a lot of the business will pit these women, these artists against each other, but everybody's gonna have a different level of success. Like again, what Whitney achieved will never ever be surpassed. Like people just don't sell records like that anymore.
Yep.
But I
Although
do
Phil
think,
Hyman didn't want to go poppy, because remember at first Clive Davis had her more in the disco, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how to love me, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
lane.
great
And she was
stuff,
like,
yeah.
no, I want to be soulful, more jazz.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, that's not where the direction I'm going in. So
right. No, I mean, Clive Davis, and I have to finish his book. I mean, anybody that is a suit like him will always want that mainstream crossover success. And what it was when Phyllis and Whitney were out, it was a lot of fucking female artists out. Like, and it's too many to like even name. Then you even had like legends like Aretha and Shaka, them still trying to get hits in the 80s with the youngin. Like it was tough. So those execs like a Clive, they were always like, look, we want you singing pop hits. And Whitney was the one that came along and said, yeah, I'll be soulful, but I don't mind doing a cover of a Dolly Parton song and stuff like that. It's really, so that's something that with Black folks in general in entertainment, I always say when you get in this shit, you have to know what your goal is. Are you trying to be a mainstream success, or are you just trying to be a living, working artist? And that goes for music, TV, films, whatever.
Absolutely.
And I do think that there are highlights and some very lowlights with both lanes like that. It's really tough. It's really tough. But yeah, Phyllis Hyman should have been massive. She was one of like great catalog of music, but she wasn't trying to sing pop songs though.
No,
she just wasn't, and she shouldn't have had to. And the ones that she did were good, but she was always that jazzy, soulful singer. Just great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get a chance. I gotta go online and see. Deion Cole talks about when he first started his comedy career, she would come and heckle him and follow him to different comedy clubs, heckling him and show up with her boyfriend.
I love it. No, I love
and just show up to heckle him, and he's like, I can't run. She the same height and size as me. What am I gonna do?
No. So I'll say this just to putting a button on all this. I think how we navigate all this in 2026. I mean, we need to sort of be doing our own homework and research on all these suits and everybody, but also we need to kind of be we need to also control our artistry as well, and not just wait on folks to like hire us, or if you're an artist waiting on somebody to just like hand you songs and this and that. I mean, Clive also helped with like Alicia Keys. She's been one of the ones who didn't suffer from all the drugs and all that, but she also had a different path though. She wrote and produced her own shit, like and stuff. So she wasn't necessarily beholden to, hey, Clive, go out and find me the best songs. And no. So that's kind of being a little bit more in charge. Like and we've seen more of that in our artists as, time has evolved now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say on that. But
Darren, man, thank you for coming on, man. This has been super dope, man.
So, thanks for having me.
Personally as well. And then once again, where it can get the Stone Cold Freaks and y'all, you know, y'all do all y'all socials and everything. People,
yeah.
they'll be tagged. We gonna tag everything. So
Yeah. And I mean,
and the book again, the book again too. What's the name of that for people too to check?
Oh
out?
yeah, so the book is called Call Me Poppy. We are working on a release date and all that fun stuff.
Can they pre-order on Amazon or anything like that?
Not yet. That's coming though. That's
okay.
all coming. And I assure everybody, I will announce it all. We'll be promoting it. I'm doing a big tour for the book and just everything. And then also people can find me on X and Threads and IG and Facebook. Well, if I don't know you, I don't know if I'll accept you on Facebook. But everywhere else, though, you can find me at Low Budget Laughs. So that's yeah. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah. Dom, where can people hit you up at as always?
You can find me wherever you social network at St. Angeles. You can also watch me on Amazon Prime on Do You See Her? You can rent me for $2.99, or you can have me for a lifetime for $9.99.
I don't know how that. I don't know if that lifetime thing is gonna be real though, Dom. Because you know I told you Xander bought that Sonic movie back during the pandemic, and I didn't even know. She just was clicking buttons, and I hadn't had no parental things on her. She was only 5, 6 at the time, and I went back on there because I make Xander watch it once a year because you bought it for like $40 or whatever it was back then. You're gonna watch it every year. So I make her watch the original Sonic every year over there. And it was a little trouble for me to get to find where my purchases was. That's all.
Yeah, I was like, you have to go under your purchases, but because I
have the $40, it should be at the front. It should be right when I go to Amazon.
Version of Dream
Your
Girl.
dumb ass bought this Sonic, didn't you? Do you want to watch it again?
Oh my god!
I love it.
Yeah, no.
Your dumb ass paid $39.99 for Sonic.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. But be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah. Voicemail. We would love your voicemails for this. 314-649-3113.
Hey. 314.
Darren, for real, this was super
dope. Cut me off, but I was plugging Stone Cold Freaks, and then I was gonna plug the SOLC network and all the podcasts. He was so anxious to tell this damn phone number. It'll be all linked in the show notes.
I'm trying to get people to hit the voicemail more.
Listen, whatever. Okay, y'all, call him. Please call him.
Call me now.
Yeah.
Please, that's all I got for y'all. Call the number. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share all the podcasts across all the platforms. And we will see y'all back here next week.
Hey, thank you, y'all.